Like any story about terrorism in the United States, we began on 9/11. You have to remember, after the towers fell, if you're in the police department, you got no advance warning from the federal government. So the NYPD said, we can't wait around for the federal government to tell us what's going on. We need to have our own intelligence operation, developing our own streams of intelligence if we want to keep the city safe. This is a seismic shift in policing. This is saying we're going to become an intelligence operation.
So I'm born and raised in New York City. I work at the Arab American Association of New York, which has been around for 13 years. It is at the epicenter of the largest Arab American community in the state of New York. Also, it happens that we found out that the New York Police Department's unwarranted surveillance program heavily targeted this area.
What they did is they created the demographics unit. And the demographics unit is a team of mostly Arab or South Asian detectives whose job it is every day to go hang out in Muslim neighborhoods.
So as I saw the maps where the NYPD was mapping New York City's Muslim communities, pretty much I would say more than 50% of the little pinpoints on where they were spying on were literally up the street that I work, in my community, in my neighborhood, at the mosques that I went to.
I think there was a sense of, why is this covert? We understand that there's going to be undercover operations targeting terrorism, but undercover operations targeting neighborhoods, a lot of people just felt like you could get this information if you just came to us and just talked to us.
There was a strange small truck parked outside the mosque by the entrance on the curb. Most of the time it was unmarked, and we didn't know what it is, but we thought to ourselves it might be a surveillance truck. And we used to joke, okay, let them listen, maybe they will learn the truth about us.
So you have the demographics unit that is sending plainclothes detectives out into New York City every day to eavesdrop and sort of monitor neighborhoods. And then separately you have the terrorism interdiction unit. And what the TIU does is they run informants. And informants are kind of the lifeblood of NYPD intel.
The old Shahana.
You mean the Shahana of last week?
There's a new and improved Shahana who works.
I remember an older sister, a Muslim sister that had come up to me, and she just sort of whispers in my ear, and she's like, just be careful, watch what you say and watch what you do, because there are, and what she called munafiq on campus, and munafiq is an Arabic term that roughly translates to hypocrite. She was talking about Muslims or people who pretend to be Muslim, infiltrate the community, and then entrap people.
Moms tell their kids to be careful and are telling their kids not to be involved in college campus organizing. So people don't understand that it actually stops people from being the normal people and doing normal things that other communities do. Some people are afraid to go to mosque because they know that they're informants. They're afraid to be taken out of context. They're afraid that an informant's going to record something that they said out of context. I mean, it's that serious.
So we've always known that we are under surveillance, some sort of surveillance. We just didn't have proof.
When the Associated Press originally revealed their investigative report, it was like a revelation to everyone else, but to us it was a confirmation of things we already knew were happening in our community. I've been visited by informants, I can't even tell you how many times.
So by the time that these reports came out and by the time that they had confirmed our suspicions, I was at a stage in my life where I realized that what I was doing politically and what I was doing religiously would be targeted just by virtue of me being a conservative Muslim with leftist politics. Somebody like me would be directly targeted, so automatically I start suspecting people in the Palestinian Club, I start suspecting people within my general circles, like if I hadn't known them prior to me being religious, if I hadn't known them prior to me being political, can I really trust them? Are they specifically in my social circles to spy on me?
As members of SJP, going and supporting other projects, building with a community, and not just expecting people to stand with you. It has to be a two-way street.
They were all built to basically be an early warning early warning system for terrorism. But what's really interesting is that the system actually got tested in the form of Najibul Azazi, who was a young man born and raised in Queens, who decided to fly to Pakistan and get trained by Al-Qaeda. He learned to make a bomb. He and his 3 friends actually built the bombs and were all set to attack the subways. The NYPD was in their mosque. They had infiltrated one of their student groups. They were in all the restaurants and all the cafes around their homes. They even had, the demographics unit had even visited the travel agency where Zazi bought the tickets to Pakistan. And at every opportunity they had to catch these guys, this system failed. They missed. And it's only because there were other programs that the federal government was running that these guys got caught. So, you know, from where I sit, it's about asking what works. And, you know, when it mattered most for New York City, when people's safety was really on the line, these programs just failed.
There's a lot of people that say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, who cares if they're an informant in your community? Who cares if you're being spied on? And people don't understand the impact that it has. It's like psychological warfare. Like many of these people came from the Middle East or from Muslim countries. You know, they're running away from persecution. They came here so they can have freedom of speech and then they can have the freedoms that we enjoy here in the US.
Where do you then find a safe space? Can I talk to my professors about certain things? So that chilling effect wasn't very isolated to my political or even my religious activities. It literally extended to every aspect of my life, but that's not to say that it had stunted me indefinitely.
I'm on social media all day, and the stuff that I see people saying, I'm like horrified. I'm like, wow, like people really think Muslims are, I mean, ISIS is Muslims follow Islam, that means we're all the same. And we're watching pundits do it. I mean, Fox News has pretty much made that claim.
That radical Muslims are training to wage jihad right here in our own backyards.
There's a lot of acceptable bigotry against Muslims and Arabs right now that no one's really addressing.
I don't want to continue being debilitated by this external force. You know, I want to do something about my situation, and I can't just sit and complain, well, okay, I'm being spied on. Either way, I'm going to get flack for it, so I might as well do something to counter it.